It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
The Cavaliers are out of Cleveland as they take on their Eastern Conference rival in tonight's contest. Welcome to the American Airlines Arena, home of the Miami Heat, and a great venue for basketball. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Hart. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check. Who's on the floor? On the court for Cleveland, LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Irving is out there with Iman Shumpert, and it's Thompson in at the center.
And one thing we know about Justice Winslow, he is great on the big stage. He was amazing in the tournament for Duke a season ago. Got better and better as he helped his school capture the national championship.
Now, here is Irving. Shot clock at 6. And it's Love penetrating. Out to Shumpert. James outside. Over Whiteside. It's good. And he makes his first shot of the game. With Winslow, it's all about improvement and being great on the big stage. I think he can do that, Greg. You talked about, what he did in the national championship run. Clark, he was a fantastic foundation to begin with.
Yeah, you know what? He's not got many holes in his game. Solid at the defensive end, can score a lot of ways, puts his hands on winning at both ends of the floor.
Here's Irving, the Heat getting the bucket. James right side. Outside jumper. And Love has it in the corner. Irving drives in, fires the three, and James with the basket on the assist by Irving. James has got 5 now.
Great assist that time by Kyrie Irving.
In the corner, Winslow with it, trying his luck deep. Pass to Bosch. On the wing, Johnson. Here's Whiteside. Distance pays off as they finally hit a shot. Whiteside's got his second basket of the night. The Cavaliers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Irving with a clean look. Another 3 for Cleveland.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Dragic with it. He dishes it to Whiteside. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
And the dunk by James.
A rim rocker.
Looked for a second like he might rip the cylinder loose.
I tell you what, that is some grown man strength on that attack.
Now here's Johnson. Here's Bosch. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
Here's Irving. James in the post. And he says, right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
Love the aggressive attitude. I mean, no invitation needed for him to take it strong to the basket.
Irving against Dragic. James outside. His three-pointers off the mark.
Well, LeBron James long considered the greatest player in the league. He's got some competition now, though. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, James Harden, all playing well last year. But for my money, there's no better player in the league than King James.
Shumpert in the corner. Lets it go from 11. Rebound by the Heat. Love dishes to Irving. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And there's the feed to Winslow. No good. In and out. Off the rim. Cleveland's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Now here's LeBron. 9 points in the game so far. Wide open. Kicks it out to Love. Lets the three fly. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And last season was one where Tristan Thompson transitioned from a starter to a bench role, didn't let the move bother him, and still put up solid numbers off the bench.
Reedy's checked in for Miami. The Heat trail by 3. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Winslow, and the rejection by James. Dragic against Shumpert. He kicks it to Love. Wants to get it to Irving and does. Back to Love. James right side. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
The drive by James. 1 quarter in the book. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player, the fulfillment of a...
I was obsessed with the NBA as a kid. And
what a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help, Greg, but love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for Cleveland.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy with all those assists.
They've got Dragic. Reed out there with Chris Bosh. Then it's Winslow, and it's Johnson in at the 2 spot. So that's who Miami starts the second with. Irving passes to Thompson. And a wide open look for James. Again, James missing. Miami trailing. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's great. And if you take any star off a team, it was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay.
When he gets into that area.
You know, he fixed the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
You know, Bosch was the big injury hit for the Heat, but they had a lot of other injuries as well. I mean, had to use 31 different starting lineups last season, and 20 different players started at least one game.
And the Heat making a change here. Whiteside's checked in. Dragic against Irving. It's Dragic with the drive. Out to the right wing. The wide open look here for Bosch. That's him coming off an assist. Got his second basket.
And injuries are something that you can't plan for, but you can prepare for them. And hopefully the Heat can avoid injury woes this season. If they can, they at least have players who have been through that struggle last year.
Irving for three. And he gets it to go. Irving's got 6 points.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron. You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
Timeout called, the Heat. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
Yeah, and Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Johnson kicks to Bosch. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson. And that's now 7 points for Chris Bosch.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take him long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
The kick out to Dragic. Back to Bosch.
Inside 2 minutes. Inside goal.
And there's the call on Bosch. That is his first foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
Williams, he's checked in for Winslow. Dragic kicks to Williams. And another basket for Miami.
Boy, I really love the way Dragic spreads that ball around.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. From deep LeBron. And again, LeBron missing. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosch last year. Had to be shut down, Greg, as we all know, for the season after a blood clot was found in his lung.
You know, and Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
.116 left in the first half. Passes it to Dragic. That ties it up.
Great pass by Bosch there.
Cleveland's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter.
You know, the Heat never really came back after losing Bosch. His presence on both ends of the floor is hard to replace, and they missed him a bunch. They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Hey, guys, I know I speak for everybody. Glad to see Chris Bosch back out on the floor. I mean, blood clots can be a very scary thing for anyone. And I think everyone is happy he's been able to make a full recovery.
The Heat making a switch here. Winslow's checked in. Dragic with it. He's picked up by Irving. Right side a screen. And it's Dragic off the drive. Shot clock at 6. Johnson, a wide open look. Basket is good. The assist from Bosch. Johnson's got it all tied up now for the Heat. Cleveland's gone 7 of 11 from deep tonight, using the three-pointer to their advantage. And here is LeBron. 14 points for him. And Whiteside sends it back. Cleveland moving it around. The three. But they recover it. And Thompson kicks to Love. Feeds it to Shumpert. In the corner, it's James. Kept alive. Love right side. LeBron James on the wing. It's all tied in.
Hi, Kevin.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit. All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
What a game for LeBron. He has 14 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. Filling out the wings, it's Shumpert and LeBron. Kevin Love out there with Tristan Thompson. And it's Irving at the point guard position. Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they were bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the power house they would end up being, as we saw.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.